Meantime, a female police officer making the rounds and along the way leaving her footprints for many to follow. Here's Charles Fisher.
First female command officer in charge of the Central Police Station. Also the first female to head the tourism unit from 2005 to 2009. 37 years on the job for Chief Superintendent Mary Mitchell, and for her, protection and honor is all she knows.
Tourism is our #1 industry, and so without that, we have to protect that, just the nature of the tourism mecca with all of those tourists into the city. And it was really challenging. You have to be firm and fair and being a woman of discipline. And so it felt right in. And it also, what it did, it causes me to be more experienced for this position that I have now as the officer in charge of Central, which includes tourism, even though the tourism unit today stands on its own outside of Central, but it's still within Central policing responsibilities.
Having spent around half her career in the downtown area, she has seen some changes in the tourism unit.
Back then, it was the town center unit, and now it's the tourism unit, and that unit consisted of about 50 to 60 officers, and we were basically responsible for policing just that Bay Street, the Wood Rogers Wharf, that tourism area. You know, the challenge came in where we had sometime 5, 10,000, 20,000 tourists when you have 5 or 6 cruise ships come in, and the unit was formed as to eliminate the fear of crime in the city when it comes to tourism. And you know, police presence says a lot about that. If police are present, it minimizes the fear of crime in that. And so we had that awesome task to be responsible for the city-centric, to prevent all of the vagrants, the hawkers, the peddlers, the drug peddlers from coming into the city area.
So with so much history in her eyes, how can she look at things and say this was this?
I have seen a change, reference to the old and the new of the day. We do not have the magistrates' courts has moved, the central detective section that has moved, but you still have the increase of the business mecca in the downtown area. That has not changed. We still have the busing system, so we still have that influx of pedestrian traffic and the motoring public that have to traverse through the city area in order to get from one destination to the next. Most of the changes comes, reference when it comes to technology, and we are upline with that. And so all we try to do is to maintain that presence on Bay Street to eliminate that fear factor.
And with downtown being the city hub, it's always busy. There are things that happen over the hill that happens in town.
Downtown proper, we see crimes of just about every nature that occurs in. We have the robberies, we have the purse snatchers, we have the drug peddlers, we have the shop break-ins, we have the house break-ins. And so you find that it is something that we can manage because it is a more smaller area to manage all in one setting. But we have our fair share of crime. But what we try to do, we have a crime strategy that we use. The more police presence, the less crime that we will have. And we try to have that rotation on a 24-hour basis.
COVID-19 somewhat has slowed the busy downtown area. So during this time, Superintendent Mitchell and her team are using it to assess.
We are less active when it comes to the pedestrian traffic and also the motoring public. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to put the initiatives in place as a preventative measure as the country opens up in phases. And so with that said in mind, we still have a parking problem, we still have the vagrant problem, we still have a lot of problems that we can actually put a hand on at this time during COVID because it's less active in the city at this time.
In part 2 of our interview with Superintendent Mitchell, she will speak on the changes in policing of the downtown area. For the Morning Edition, I'm Charles Fisher.